Welcome to All Piano Improvisation, 4 types of triad, open style. In our previous video, we talked about the 4 types of triad. There are only 4 types of triad, and they were in what we call closed position. So no space on the paper. If you look at the notes of closed position triads, they can sit on top of each other. So if, for example, in C, written from middle C on the line, the 3rd of E is on the line, and the 5th is on the line, and they all sit together on top of each other. Even with the accidentals on the augmented triad, on the page they look very similar. However, this isn't always the rule. Depends on key and context, and you sometimes use double sharps, double flats, as I mentioned in the earlier video. We're more concerned with the actual visual aspect at the piano keyboard. Now we're going to try just using C as an example to show you how we can open up these chords and different ways to practice them. We could practice in both hands, playing the same triads in both hands in closed position, using various rhythms. If we open up the triads, I think along the lines of like a Chopin style. The first study in Chopin's Opus 10 piano studies, the first study is in the key of C. It starts off with an open version of a C triad, and we're going to imitate that sound. Based on the 4 basic triads, we're going to open up the sound. So starting with the augmented triad, we're just using a bass, octave bass left hand below the root of the right hand. Play the augmented triad, then we take the middle voice, the 3rd, and we place the 3rd on top, and we also double the root underneath the 3rd. So we have C, the augmented note, the root again, and the 3rd, and this is the shape for the right hand, and it's based on that voicing from the Chopin study, the first shape. We then move the shape to the 3rd in the right hand. So technically we have an inversion, but because the bass is still playing the C underneath, I would still call this a C augmented because the bass note determines the chord description. If you have an inversion, a true inversion, then it would be what we call a slash chord, where the bass may be the 3rd in the bass, or you might have the 5th in the bass on a second inversion. So the PDF 4 triad types open Chopin style, and I'm going to play through these examples. So the augmented version, then we have the C major version, so the 5th has been naturalized to G. And we have the minor version, and we also have the diminished version. I find a diminished triad in this style, this arrangement, actually harder because it's tempting to place the diminished seventh, which again technically in a diminished seventh chord is a double flat, so it actually looks like a 6 from the root. So the diminished triad I find is actually the hardest of the triads to play in this style, because it's hard not to add the extra note to turn it into a seventh chord, or 4 voices. So C augmented, take them up the top of the keyboard as far as you can go, bring them down. The different positions, as we say, they are on their own inversions in the right hand, but because we have the C underneath, we're sustaining the C harmony, or the C root, so they're C chords. C augmented, C major, C minor, C diminished. The goal you should set yourself is to play these in every key. So if you base it on the 4 triads video, I usually practice these moving up in semitones. But don't always start from C, sometimes vary your practice. If you start from A, being the first letter of the alphabet, first letter of the musical alphabet, why not start from A for a change when you practice? Also with your scales as well. So let's start from A. Play the A augmented, A major, A minor, A diminished, open position. Using this open idea on the triads, I find a really good way to warm up, and you can move up in semitones. You don't have to play across the whole range of the piano, as in the Chopin study, that sound he makes. But that's something to aim for. But to begin with, you could just play even just one octave. You could play even just one shape, up and down, arpeggiate it, or play in different combinations, different ways of breaking up the chord, different patterns on the chord.